Hello, my beautiful friends. Sorry, that was kind of weird. Today, I want to really make this video for a few reasons. If you don't know what fight this is, please stop watching. Just joking. This is Muhammad Ali versus Ernie Terrell. You could see that Ali is really mad right here. Ernie Terrell famously called Ali his old name, which is Cassius Clay, and then Ali was pretty mad. I think they were friends. I think they're from the same, both from Louisville. I think so. I don't remember. Ali fought one of his childhood friends or someone that he used to box with. Might have been Ernie Terrell. Now the reason I'm making this video is not because Muhammad Ali was mad at him, and this is like a video like that. The reason this video is being made is because Ernie Terrell was taller than Ali, and he had a very, very, very good jab. I remember watching Ernie Terrell versus another fighter, I forgot his name, but he jabbed his head off. Now, I want to show you guys what you could do with someone that has a longer reach than you. Of course, we know that Ali is an all-time great jab, one of the best ever, but we want to see what he does against the taller opponent and what he does basically. And what he does, so he opens up with this in the first round. Ernie Terrell kind of counters with a left hook, and then we're going to see the footwork that Ali uses. Okay, this is what you do against a taller opponent. Let's see that right there, what happened right there. See, he caught him with the jab right there. So Ernie Terrell had a great jab, and we're going to see how Ali took away all of this from him. In the beginning of the fight, it's going to look like Ali has a lot of trouble, but towards the end of the fight, he's just beating up Ernie Terrell. We're going to see how he gets to that stage, and basically my argument for this is footwork and circling your opponent, the taller opponent. Ali isn't staying in front of him. He's circling him side to side. He's making the taller fighter turn. Taller fighters with long legs have a hard time moving and changing direction. And we're going to see what Ali does in the first few rounds, even the first half of the fight, I believe. He's keeping a safe distance from Ernie Terrell's jab. He's not standing too close, and he's moving. He's in and out. See, he gets caught with a jab right there. He's in and out a little bit sometimes, but he's mostly circling and just making Ernie Terrell change direction. Ernie Terrell is trying to feint. Ali is just dancing and moving around him. Tie him up when he gets too close, obviously. Talking to him right here. Ali is just dancing, feinting. He's trying to find a way in. So think of Ernie Terrell as a castle. Ali's the guy outside of the castle, and he's trying to find a way into the castle. So he's just moving his feet. And like I said, and actually this fight shows that Ali actually did throw body shots. We're going to see it later in the fight too. But Ali, he never had to throw body shots because he was always a taller guy. But against Ernie Terrell, who's taller than him, Ali does actually throw body shots, and we'll see it a little bit in this fight, especially later in the fight. He's just talked to him here. But this is a very important fight to study. It gets overshadowed by the what's my name thing. But I feel like this is one of Ali's best performances because there is a debate about old fighters, like old school fighters like Ali and stuff, fighting today's taller fighters and how he would do. Ernie Terrell is not that much taller than him, but this gives you an idea of how Ali would fight, I don't know, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, and guys like that. That was a nice left hook by Ali right there. So he's in and out. He's sticking his jab sometimes, and he's not staying in front of Ernie Terrell. He's not trying to out-jab him yet. He's just moving, making Ernie Terrell find him. And then he's just circling. Nice left hook right there, by a nice left hook to the body by Ernie Terrell, counter. That was a nice left hook by Ali right there. Nice left to the body by Terrell. Keep dancing. Don't stay flat-footed against a taller opponent. Now, of course, there's different ways to fight a taller opponent, But in my opinion, moving your feet and circling them is one of the best things you could do in the opening rounds. You got to make the long legs of the taller opponent change direction, make them kind of clumsy, because the taller you are, the harder it is for you to change direction and move your feet as swiftly as a short fighter. Now Ali's an exception. He was 6'3", but he could move like he weighed 110 pounds. So he's kind of an exception. But if you see Ernie Terrell, taller fighters, they're generally very hard to change direction without being clumsy. Now Ali feints right there, uppercut, and Ernie Terrell comes up with the left hook. So this wasn't an easy fight for Ali in the beginning, but because he's so great, he changed the course of the fight later on and took over and just beat up Ernie Terrell. This fight and the Cleveland Williams fight of Ali's are two of the best fights where he uses his feet really well. That was the first round. If you watch Ernie Terrell's other fights, oh, he had a great jab. So for Ali to take that away from him, that's the other thing that Ali does really good in this fight. He takes away his opponent's best punch, which is the jab. Sorry, I gotta skip this part so the video isn't too long. I might do the whole fight study, but I'm more focused on the opening rounds to show you guys what Ali did against a taller fighter and how he slowly but surely started working him. At first, he's moving a lot, feinting, he's throwing some punches, but he's not too worried about beating him up yet or landing his punches yet. He's doing something else. So see, he's on his toes, and this is another thing that Ali does in this fight. You're going to see him do this a couple more times, is he puts his right hand, I think sometimes his left hand, but usually his right hand on the left hand of Ernie Terrell to stop him from throwing the jab. Like right there. See how he's touching that jab? It looks playful, but see Ernie Terrell hasn't thrown one jab yet. And see right, let's see this right. So this looks very playful by Ali. He's just kind of pity-patting on Terrell's glove. But the whole time he's doing this, Ernie Terrell hasn't thrown one jab. So we see him kind of touch his jab right there. Still moving his feet. Touching his jab. See, he tries to jab right there. Get that out of here. Don't even think about throwing it. He's moving. And see, he's just dancing and touching the jab. Because Ernie Terrell's best weapon was his jab, he's trying to take that away from him, keeping him from throwing it. Now that he kind of manipulated it a little bit and didn't let him throw it, he's going to go in for some punches, but Ernie Terrell throws a counter. A jab to the body. And then Muhammad Ali moves again. See, he's touching that jab. He's almost going southpaw, and there he touches both hands. It looks really stupid what he's doing, or it looks like he's just being playful. But I see he's putting his hand in front of Ernie Terrell. Now, Ali couldn't do this if Ali was trying to out-jab Terrell. He couldn't get that close to him. So we saw right here. You see how close he's getting to him? Okay, and he's not throwing his own jab. He's just touching his right hand to Ernie Terrell's jab. Okay, if Ali just came in straight ahead and started jabbing with Ernie Terrell, he would have been caught like we saw in the opening of the first round. But because he's just touching with his glove, Ernie Terrell can't get off his jab and Ali can get closer, and that's kind of one of the points of getting closer to the taller opponent, is just literally getting closer. You don't have to do it by punching, but you have to find a way. And Ali's way right here was playing with Ernie Terrell's jab. Now Ali's moving. He's getting a little bit closer. He sticks out a jab, doesn't land that good. Ernie Terrell comes back with another one. And he's moving. And he's holding on. Nice uppercuts on the inside by Terrell. Muhammad Ali's still talking to him. He's dancing. See, he's touching his gloves. Throws his combo. Nice body shot by Ernie Terrell. Now Terrell's going to throw a lot of rabbit punches, I believe, in this fight, like he just did right there. Ref doesn't really call it, I don't think so. See, now Ali can whip out his jab. Gets away from Ernie Terrell. We're going to see some really good defense by Ali in this fight also. Grabs his head, pulls him in. And basically, Ali's the definition of take you into deep waters and drown you. So he's being playful right now, but he's just working his way closer and closer to Ernie Terrell. And pretty soon he's going to take out everything away from him. Nice shots right there from Ali. Still dancing. Missed that uppercut right there. And just take control of the bull. Rest. Talk a little bit and then start all over again. Nice, now he stuck those two jabs. Ooh, that was nice by Ali. Look at this. That right hand right there. It might have like skimmed him. We're going to see a lot better examples of that in the fight. Ali on his toes, dancing. You see how awkward it is for Ernie Terrell to chase Ali around the ring, to chase a shorter fighter around the ring. Nice feint right there by Ali. So don't let him know when you're coming in. Stay mostly on the outside. Sometimes come in. You're just trying to overwhelm Ernie Terrell with what you're going to do. Muhammad Ali isn't just putting his hands up and walking close to Ernie Terrell where Ernie Terrell knows for sure what he's going to do. He's staying on his toes. Sometimes he's standing still. Sometimes he's jabbing. Sometimes he's putting his hands on his gloves. Sometimes he's pulling away. There he lands a nice jab. Nice jab right there. See, jab, feint, jab. Nice little uppercut between the gloves. Now, this is a punch that I really like, especially when someone has both hands up, is not always to jab at their guard, but go with the quick lead uppercut right between the guard. See right there. Left uppercut right in between the guard. This is one of the best punches to throw. Once this starts landing, you could also start going around with the right, kind of a whacking right hand, not a straight right hand, but a whacking right hand across the side of the face. That's another punch that you could throw. But this punch right here is one of the best against someone that has their guard up, because you could throw it from a distance. It's a long uppercut. It's almost like a jab, but it comes in like an uppercut. And it lands really nice there. I think he threw another one. And see how Ernie Terrell can't keep up with the footwork of Muhammad Ali. Ernie Terrell is more clumsy with his feet, like I said. And that's how you take down a giant. So a giant, of course, if you fight them head on, they're going to win because they're the giant. They got more power. They could take your punches. You got to tire the giant out. You got to make the giant chase you. Because what you have, or what Ali has against the giant of Ernie Terrell, I'm calling Ernie Terrell a giant, even though he's not, especially in today's standards. But use your imaginations for this. Imagine Ernie Terrell was, I don't know, 7 feet, and Ali was his size. So you want to, I'm just exaggerating, but the giant doesn't have speed. Okay, the giant has reach, has power, has maybe a better chin, but they don't have speed, and not speed of the punches, speed of movement, especially speed of their feet. The smaller fighter, especially in Ali's case, where I said he moves like he's 110 pounds, Ali has the speed of feet. So why not use your feet to tire out the giant, to make the giant kind of clumsy on their feet before you start working? Okay, because when the giant doesn't have balance, they pretty much lose everything. Dance, dance, dance. Flick that jab out, move, change direction. Just keep Ernie Terrell changing direction. That was nice body shots by Terrell. Terrell's really trying to rough him up. Muhammad Ali's like I don't know, he's like a fly that won't leave you alone, that just keeps buzzing around your head. But that could actually throw punches. Nice jab right there. See, this is one of Ali's better head movements. So we've always seen Ali kind of get away from shorter fighters. This fight I really like because he shows his head movement and reflexes even against someone that's taller than him. And I can't say I've ever seen Muhammad Ali fight someone that was taller than him other than this fight. If he did, please let me know, but I can't remember. I've watched a lot of his fights. He always seemed to be the taller guy, so it's refreshing to see him against a taller person, how he gets under the right hand. Or George Foreman was like the same height of Ali, but Ernie Terrell's taller than him. So when he tries to really get in close, Ernie Terrell, Ali's just going to tie him up and make him reset from far away. Now you might think this is wrong because as a shorter fighter, you want to stay on the inside. But you don't want to do that until the bigger guy's a little bit more tired. If you're on the inside with someone, especially a bigger guy that knows how to throw to the body, it's a little bit more dangerous for you, the smaller guy. So like I said for the 100th time, Ali's trying to tire him out, make him change direction, and then he's going to start standing his ground like here and throwing punches. But he won't do that till later in the fight a little bit more. Here he's doing it in spots, but not the whole round. Nice 1-2 hook. 1-2. 1-2. Get away from that. Hold him. Wait for the ref to come in. And restart from outside. Nice uppercut left hook. Ernie Terrell seems super mad. Now this is something else I want to talk about right about here. Okay, we all know that Muhammad Ali was really mad going into this fight, and Ernie Terrell, I'm pretty sure, was pretty mad going into this fight. But if you look at how they're fighting, Ernie Terrell is fighting mad. I'm not British, so I don't mean mad like crazy, but he's mad, he's angry. Ali is fighting like he's just fighting, he's just boxing, okay? So even though Ali might have the same emotions as Ernie Terrell, he's not showing them in his fighting style. He's not standing in front of Terrell and trying to hit him hard or whatever. He's using his skill over his emotion. Ernie Terrell, you could see him even though he's using his skill also, but you could see how he's just taking punches and he's just trying to walk Ali down with both hands up like, I'm going to get him eventually. And that kind of leads to your downfall sometimes when you don't use your boxing ability and you fight angry or fight mad. Ali, even though he's mad, he's not fighting mad. Nice uppercut left hook right there, and then get out the way. Nice, he's working him right there, change direction again. You could see Ernie Terrell does not have the footwork to keep up with Muhammad Ali. See now how Ali could stick out his jab from closer range opposed to the first round. Now Ernie Terrell is more flat-footed than the first round. He's kind of slowed down a tiny bit, not too much, just a tiny bit. That's allowing Ali to stand in front of him for a second. But he's not being quick to reply with the jab like he did in the first round. You could see how he's a little bit slower here. He's really trying to hunt Ali down right now. He forgot about his jab. Ali took that away from him with ease. See, now Ernie Terrell has forgot about his jab. He might throw a couple, but he's forgotten about it. Now he's just looking to hurt Ali. I'm not sure what Ali told him in the clinch in the rounds before, but Ernie Terrell just stopped using his jab in the third round. He's just trying to fight hard now. See, now Ali could stand in front of him and throw his punches. So it took Ali, I don't remember how this fight went exactly, so Ernie Terrell might use his jab later on in the fight also. I forgot exactly. But opposed to the first round, how Terrell was using his jab and he caught Ali with it. Then the second round, Ali started pity-patting on Terrell's jab and standing a little bit closer to him but still moving. Now in the third round, Ali's getting off uppercuts and hooks and jabs, and Terrell isn't replying with any type of jab. He's just trying to get Ali. See, Ernie Terrell didn't throw one jab that whole time. Now this fight could have went completely different if Ali tried to out-jab Terrell from the first round. Okay, Terrell would have been, I think, winning by now if Ali stood there in front of him and tried to jab him. And that's where you have to know your opponent's strengths and your weaknesses and Ernie Terrell's weaknesses. If Ernie Terrell was trying to jab like he did in the first round, but he was shorter than Ali, Ali wouldn't have done all that footwork. He would have just out-jabbed him. But Ali knew that if he tried to out-jab Terrell from the opening round, Terrell was getting to him. So Ali had to change the plan, move around him, dance, make him a little bit more angry, make him forget about his jab, and now Ali could start working his jab. So you have to understand what your ability, and then you could kind of start working off of that. Round number 4. There, Terrell tried a jab right there. That was a nice one too. I'm not sure that right hand landed clean. It might have. It's hard with this old film to slow it down because sometimes the frame skips or something. It's hard. You can see how angry Terrell is by how many body shots he's throwing with his right hand. You can see Ernie Terrell's just like a mummy right now, as Ali called Foreman. See, he didn't throw a jab for look how long he didn't throw one single jab, Terrell. See? This is what I mean, how Ali took away his jab. He's the bigger guy. He should be jabbing. In the first round, he landed his jab more than Ali did. Okay? But he's angry now. He forgot about his best punch. And look what he does. Ali's just moving. Ernie Terrell could have flicked 2 jabs out, 3, 4, 5 by now. Right there, 6. And see how he comes in? He's a taller guy. Look how he comes in. See? He totally forgot about his best weapon. He thinks he's going to hurt Ali to the body, but we know Ali's great at taking punishment, especially to the body, as he's shown against George Foreman and Joe Frazier. But this is earlier in the career. Look at that. He hasn't thrown one jab. This is the 4th round. Sorry, I blinked right there. I got to see if he threw a jab or not. He might have thrown one right there. But look how long he's going. See, look, he's trying to... See? Now, we're going to jump into the mindset of Ernie Terrell at this point. He probably thinks, okay, I could just walk through this guy. I don't have to use my jab, and I'm going to hurt him. That's what he's thinking right now. But what he's making the biggest mistake is he's letting go of his best weapon, which is the jab, and he's just trying to brawl with Ali. He thinks he's just going to hurt Ali by brawling with him. Big mistake. Because it already showed in the first round who can land their jab easier, Ali or Ernie Terrell. Terrell could land his jab easier in the first round. So he should have worked on it a little bit more. Look, now Ali's the one jabbing and Ernie Terrell is just trying to bull his way through. And this is the 4th round, and he just completely changed the way that Ernie Terrell fights. I've watched Ernie Terrell fight another fight. I can't say I've watched too many of his fights, but he literally jabbed the guy's head off with the jab for the whole fight. So he knows how to jab, but Ali just took him out of his element. There he tries to jab. See? Ali lands his jab, and Ernie Terrell can still land his jab. So he has the longer jab. He has, I won't say the better jab. He has a very good jab, but he could outland Ali with the jab. See, now he's trying to use the jab again. Now Ali's back with the jab. Now Ali knows his distance a little bit more, and we're going to see him make Ernie Terrell miss a lot more. That was a nice right here. I think he did this against Ken Norton too, Ali. He's moving left, and then he pops a right hand while he's moving left. Boom. And then he moves to the right, changes direction. That went over the top of his head. So this is why you can't say that Ali would have lost against bigger guys, but because he was just a lot faster and he could move around bigger guys and take them out of their element. And you could see right there the right hook to the body. So this is one of the body shots that Ali threw in this fight. So that's the other thing when people say Ali didn't throw body shots. Even against Floyd Patterson, who was a lot shorter, he threw body shots to Ali. You can see him getting away from those jabs, getting away from that right hand. Get off of me. But he just never had to really throw body shots. But against a taller guy, you could see that he knows how to throw body shots. He wasn't oblivious to body shots. And Ernie Terrell is going for that kidney, but none of that matters. See, Ali's just boxing, moving his feet. Nice left hook by Ernie Terrell right there. Ooh, that was nice. Oh my God. Look at that. I'm going to make an Instagram video of just Ali's defense. Boop. Boop. Turn out. Nice right hand by Ali, I think, right there. Let's rewatch that. See, this is what we said about in the last fight study about Jimmy Young, how he controlled Ken Norton's head with the left hand. Beautiful right uppercut. Then it gets a little bit tangled up and messy. So Ernie Terrell let go of his best punch, which is the jab, and he's settling for these right hands to the body, which don't really do damage. They do damage, but they do. When you're expecting them, they don't really do damage. And fighters expect them when you're in the clinch, especially if you throw a lot of them. So they could tighten up their body and kind of be ready for them. Now we're going into the 5th round, okay? So first round, Ernie Terrell gave Ali trouble with the jab. Second round, Ali started pity-patting on Ernie Terrell's hands and not letting him jab, and Ernie Terrell kind of forgot about his jab. Third round, still. Fourth round, we saw Ernie Terrell basically not jab at all, except for a few times. And we saw Ali actually out-jab him. I would say that. I didn't count the jabs, but I think Ali out-jabbed him. There he goes for the jab. See, this whole time he could be jabbing right here, just flicking it out. See, Ali's the one doing that. Even though he's on the outside, he's the one closer to the ropes. Nice 1-2 by Ali. Hold him. Wait for the ref. I guess not, because Ernie Terrell uses uppercut right there. See how Ali's out jabbing him? See? Like he has a solid jab, and when he throws it, he usually lands it. But Ali isn't gonna trade jabs with him. He is sometimes when he has to, but usually he's not. Nice lead hook by Ali. Nice jab. See, he's working that terrible choice of, look at that. Like I said, Ali was pretty mad going into this fight. He said he never wanted to hurt someone as much as he wanted to hurt Ernie Terrell. But he's not fighting like he's mad. He's fighting like he's fighting. Nice right there. Now Ernie Terrell is looking messy. Remember, this is the... Look what Ali does with his right hand. Dance, dance, dance. Most of those rabbit punches are going over the shoulder of Ali, though, because Ernie Terrell has pretty long arms. But there's a fight of Ernie Terrell's I forgot against who. Maybe it was Doug Jones. No, it wasn't Doug Jones. It was, maybe. But he just jabbed the guy's head off. This was a nice uppercut by Ernie Terrell. I'm not sure if it landed clean or what happened right there. Holds him. I'm making this fight in response to Tim Tszyu versus Fundora. I posted on Instagram that when you fight a really tall guy or someone that's taller than you and they don't have the best footwork, or especially when someone's really tall, they're not going to have great footwork as a smaller guy because they're just that much bigger. You got to move around them and make them tangle up their feet, make them exhausted by moving, make them change direction, and that's how you slowly break them down. You don't break down a taller fighter just by breaking them down with punches. You break them down by moving around them and making them constantly change directions, like an annoying fly flying around your head. Even though it's a tiny thing and it can't do any harm to you, just its sound and just the fact that it could change direction around you so fast drives you crazy. Okay, so think of that in boxing terms. As the smaller guy, you're the fly. You're trying to annoy the taller guy. They can't catch you because you're faster than them on your feet, and you're just trying to stay around them. But if the fly just stops and stands in front of you or flies right in front of you, you could easily kill it. You could easily slap it down on the floor. But because the fly is so good at moving, you can't catch it, and it's really annoying. So now we see Ali standing his ground for a little bit more. He's not moving as much. Let's see this jab by Ernie Terrell. See? Like when he jabs, he's giving Ali problems with the jabs. See that? That was a nice right hand. Now Ali's countering his jab. Boom. Now he's really going to take his confidence away from using that jab. So from around round 2, 3, and 4, he didn't really use his jab. Now round 5, he's trying to use it again. It landed for him, but now Ali's countering him. So that's another way to take out the jab, is to counter the opponent when they jab and you take their confidence away. You make them scared to jab. That's another way. Now we're going into the 6th round. Now Ernie Terrell is tired. I would say he's a little bit more tired. He's not as fresh as the first round, of course. Now you could stand in front of him. Now you could start landing shots that you wouldn't have in the first round. Now you could start getting in. Now is when you could start working. But we're going to see this round. This is a 15-round fight. So usually in 15-round fights, it's round 7 when someone really starts taking over, and then they kind of cool off for a few rounds later on, and then they really close the show. See right there. Like I said, Ernie Terrell didn't completely forget about his jab, but he didn't use it in the most important rounds. He chased Ali instead. See how much longer his jab is? One thing I do like about Ernie Terrell is how he's feinting, but he's not doing anything after the feint. Nice. That's something I said in my feinting lesson. If you feint a lot and you don't throw anything after the feint, and you do that a long time, the opponent starts knowing that you're lying and you're not actually using your feints to throw punches, and they stop respecting your feints. So even though if you're going to miss a jab or if you're going to miss a punch, feint and throw something, not every time, but most of the time, so your opponent knows that after the feint something is coming. If you just feint for no reason, they're not going to respect your feints, and then they're going to stop being, they're going to stop working. They're going to stop being effective. Was that a jab or a push? That was a push right there. Now he's moving again. Nice jab by Ernie Terrell. I'm telling you guys, when he jabs, he's doing really good. But he stopped jabbing in the most important rounds. You want to establish your jab. There, he made a miss. You want to establish your jab in the first 3 rounds. You really want to tell the other guy that you're jabbing at him and you're landing your jabs, and that's what kind of takes the confidence away from the opponent. But if you miss that window and your opponent stops kind of fearing your jab, you kind of miss the opportunity to establish your jab unless you do a really good job like in these rounds where you just jab their head off. But it's really hard now because you're more tired and they know your timing, they know your speed, they know what to expect from your jab. So it becomes harder to establish something once your opponent has already tasted it a couple times. See? Nice jab, Ali. Now Ali knows what to expect from Terrell. He knows his timing, he knows his speed. Terrell's a little bit more tired. He's not as vicious as he was in the first rounds. Nice left hook though, nice double left hook right there though. But inside punches don't really work against Ali. He's going to tie you up, wait for the ref to break you up, and start the whole thing all over again. And he could do that a million times. He's not going to get tired of doing that. Do you guys see how much circling Ali did in the first few rounds and how he's still on his feet right here? He is changing direction, but he's standing a lot more in front of his opponent because he tired him out. All that holding, putting pressure on his neck. Nice job by Terrell. And you don't have to be a guy like Ali to you don't have to have his fighting style. Even if you're a lot shorter than your opponent, you could still use your footwork to get around them and make them do the same thing that Ali's doing. A jab only really works when you stand in front of your opponent, or like your opponent's jab is only going to work if you just stand in front of them and do nothing about it. But if you're moving and make them change direction, it's going to be a lot harder for them to throw their jab because the jab takes some time to kind of calibrate and throw it at your opponent. If they're constantly changing direction, it becomes harder to land your jab. That's one reason that Ernie Terrell may have stopped using his jab. The other reasons I already talked about. Going into round number 6, I believe. Oh, 7. Well, this fight's flying by. What happened to the quality? You got okay, there it is. Nice jab right there by Terrell. But like I said, it's round 7. His jab isn't much of a threat as it was in the first 3 rounds. He lost his window to establish his jab. Now Ali has his timing down. He knows what to look for before the jab comes out. He knows how to pull away from it a little bit better. He kind of gave Ali the vaccine for the jab. So now Ali's vaccinated. See, Ali knows exactly where to stand. He doesn't have to move his feet like he did in the first round. He could just walk, and he knows exactly where that jab is going to reach out to, and he could just stay at the very end of it and not have it do as much damage as it would have in the first few rounds. Nice left hook, uppercut, in the middle type punch from Ali right there. Uppercut, left hook. See, now he starts working. Boom. See? See? If you saw how they started the first round, you wouldn't have thunk that the fight would have turned this way in round 7. And that shows you the boxing brains of Ali. So when people ask you, how does he do against guys taller than him? Well, you show him this fight. See, he just broke down Ernie Terrell. Someone who's bigger than him, has a longer jab than him, has a very good jab. Ali broke him down. This is the beginning of the breakdown. We're going to see a lot more punishment coming in later in the fight. But now he hasn't figured out. Nice step around right there. Now he's using his feet a little bit more, standing. And like I said, Ernie Terrell was the castle. Ali figured it out. He moved around the castle, found some holes in the castle. Now he's trying to break down the walls of the castle and finally to get into the castle. By getting into the castle, I mean landing all his power punches. So, Ernie Terrell's basically a walking punching bag at this point. He already gave Ali the vaccine for his attacks, and now Ali knows what to expect, and he knows how to handle them. Okay, guys, so I want to keep this for the first part of this breakdown. I want to show you guys the progression of how Ali breaks down the taller guy, how he used his feet in the first round, how he kind of put his hands on Ernie Terrell's jab in the second round to keep him from jabbing. Third round, I forgot what happened there. Fourth round, where Ali really started out jabbing Terrell, and Terrell didn't really throw any jabs. Fifth, sixth round, where Ali still works the same type of thing. Now in this round, we saw Ali really stand his ground a little bit more, outland Terrell, hurt him a couple times, and now this is just the beginning. This is seventh round. We still got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We got 8 more rounds to go, and it's not looking good for Ernie Terrell. This is a long video, so sorry guys for keeping you too long. Thank you for watching. As always, I'll be back with part 2. New boxing lesson dropping on Wednesday. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. Appreciate your time, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.